Hello, everyone, and welcome to the new Roseland Community Hospital Warriors Award presentation. I'm Jim Williams of CBS 2 Chicago, and for the next 30 minutes, we invite you to join us for a unique celebration of courage, sacrifice, and service to our community. Tonight, we will recognize a group of individuals who have gone above the call of duty to support the new Roseland Community Hospital during the challenging time facing the pandemic. These heroes represent a cross-section of community residents, healthcare professionals, and support staff and leaders in the business community. They were called to action to battle an enemy not seen since the flu epidemic of 1918. These men and women were not on lockdown. They were downtown and uptown and on the front lines providing care, support, and protecting our community.
The new Roseland Community Hospital has been the tip of the sword in the battle to flatten the curve of COVID-19 on Chicago's South Side. We faced the challenge of COVID-19, and we changed the outcomes for our community. For decades, a lack of investment has plagued the Roseland community. But our safety net hospital, woefully underfunded, has stepped up to provide testing for an abandoned population. Now the new Roseland Community Hospital is ready to make the changes necessary to meet the diverse healthcare needs of the greater Roseland community. I'm Tim Egan, President and CEO, and we are committed to the change that is needed.
During this year, the hospital's employees braved the pandemic, putting in long hours to take care of the most vulnerable. These warriors and heroes never wavered. We celebrate their hard work. There are many frontline workers whose work stands out, and their collective contribution is summed up by the work of Dr. Rakesh Salgia. As lead pulmonologist at Roseland, he guided the early treatment of hundreds of patients at a time when little was known about the virus and its impact on the human body. Roseland Community Hospital recognizes Dr. Salgia with the Hospital Staff Award.
Hi, my name is Dr. Salgia. I'm one of the pulmonary critical care physician working at Roseland Community Hospital for more than 33 years. I'm managing the ICU, and for last 1 year, it was pure hell for all of us, including my staff, including the cardiopulmonary department with it. And it's very nice to see that the administration is recognizing all the staff and giving us this recognition. And we are really humbled to accept this, and we really appreciate their help throughout the whole saga going on for last 1 year. And thank you very much, Mr. Egan and other team from administration.
The hospital also recognizes the work of many others, including the laboratory workers, business leaders, and community organizers. The list is long and time is short, but here is a small group of leaders who answer the call.
On behalf of American Medical Lab, I would like to thank Roseland for the COVID Warrior Award, and I would like also to thank Roseland for the opportunity that they give American Medical Lab to serve the communities and for the great leadership they represent during the pandemic. Thank you.
On behalf of Phalanx Family Services, I proudly accept this award, this Community Service Award from Roseland Community Hospital. We have been a proud partner with the hospital for the past few months, providing COVID testing and vaccination shots. Again, I am very humble and excited for accepting this award. Thank you, Roseland Hospital.
Hello, I'm Dr. William Werner, Chair of the Washington Square Health Foundation Board of Directors. The mission of Washington Square is to provide grant funding to promote and maintain access to adequate health care for all people in the Chicagoland area, regardless of race, sex, creed, or financial need. The foundation meets this goal through its grants for medical education, medical research, and direct healthcare services. This last year has been an unprecedented time of change and challenge, with worldwide pandemic causing death and illness, devastating economic upheaval, and disruption to the conventional approaches to education and cultural institutions. Early on in the COVID-19 crisis, New Roseland Community Hospital stepped up to provide to the community compassionate care for the critically ill patients. Roseland's frontline staff and physicians were recognized by the local media as COVID warriors and heroes. Washington Square has been a partner with Roseland going back to the HIV/AIDS epidemic in the 1990s. More recently, the foundation helped to fund a dental van to provide state-of-the-art dental care to the community. When access to testing for COVID-19 proved challenging, Roseland used the van to provide a walk-up testing site for the community. Earlier this year, COVID vaccines became available, but scheduling and accessing those vaccines were extremely challenging, and Roseland then used the van to go out into the community to provide vaccinations. An ongoing public health challenge has been the equitable distribution of the COVID-19 vaccines. Roseland has stepped up to provide an innovation, a solution to getting the vaccine into the arms of community members. On behalf of the Washington Square Board of Directors, Executive Director Howard Nachumson, Associate Director Kathleen Capella, I gratefully accept this 2021 New Roseland COVID Warrior Award. Thank you to the Roseland Board, Tim Egan, the CEO, President, and especially to all of your staff, physicians, and associates.
On behalf of Verizon, I am pleased to accept this award from Roseland Hospital. But more importantly, I want to thank the hardworking men and women on the front line hospital staff who've battled COVID in one of the city's hardest hit areas. The hospital has tested over 40,000 residents for COVID so far and vaccinated over 26,000 Chicago residents. We've played a small part in this, but we're so happy to provide support and continue to provide support for this effort to continue to partner with you all at the Roseland Hospital for continued fight against this horrible pandemic. On behalf of Verizon, again, I thank you so much for the award, and more importantly, thank you for everything you're doing to help the city of Chicago stay safe. Thank you so much.
I accept this award with great humility today on behalf of the Allen Metropolitan Christian Methodist Episcopal Church and the new Roseland Neighborhood Community Organization, of which I am pleased to serve as the Executive Director. We are grateful for the awesome privilege to serve and collaborate with the hospital over the years, and especially at this time in the history of our nation now. So I gladly and appreciatively accept this 2021 New Roseland COVID Warrior Clergy Award. God's blessing and grace to the ministry and the work of the New Roseland Community Hospital at such a time as this. Blessings, and thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Arthur Zayas Miller, President and CEO of MZI Group. I'm accepting this new award, the COVID Warrior Vendor Award from Roseland Hospital for our work during the COVID time here. I want to thank the COVID team I have behind me from MZI that worked with Roseland's management, Roseland's men and women that have worked throughout this struggle. And we're very proud to be helping in a community that is in need of help, underserved community. We're trying to do everything that we can in order to make sure that the opportunities are here for the citizens of this community to get vaccine, to get tested, and to be served just like any other community. So once again, I wanted to thank Roseland Hospital, my team behind me. Bob Hwanek has led this since the beginning, and thanks once again for this award.
This is Cook County Commissioner Stanley Moore of the 4th District. It's an honor and a privilege to be here today to make sure that I present this proclamation to Roseland Community Hospital. You are definitely a warrior and a champion in the fight against the pandemic. I want to thank the staff, Tim Egan, especially Essex White, Claudia and Tremel, who have been tremendous helpers in helping our community get through this pandemic. It is because of you that you have made so many people feel comfortable in the situation that we've had to live through for the past year. Thank you for being who you are. Thank you for doing the job that you do. and continue to keep up the good work. Thank you, County Commissioner Steele.
The work done here at the hospital could not have happened without the support of friends, supporters, and members of the community. Here's a snapshot.
Hi, my name is Nakia McGee. I am the Human Resources Director here at the New Roseland Community Hospital. Thank you to all who made this broadcast possible, and thank you to the many others who work tirelessly to care for our patients 24/7. We are excited to announce the new RCH Board Members Challenge by Bruce Lehman-Tannen, who donated $30,000 to kickstart our campaign. It is up to us to rise to the challenge and match his contribution. Join us. Click on the link and donate. Thank you again for your continued support.
March, Illinois became one of the first US states to issue a stay-at-home order. The drastic action was taken in an attempt to curb the spread of COVID-19.
I fully recognize that in some cases, I am choosing between saving people's lives and saving people's livelihoods. But ultimately, you can't have a livelihood if you don't have your life.
As the city's streets fell eerily silent, medical staff found themselves on the front line of fighting a global pandemic. Although the virus does not discriminate, it didn't take long for authorities to notice that the city's African American and Latino communities were being impacted more deeply.
We're all in this crisis together, but we are not experiencing this crisis in the same way.
Statistics suggested black Chicagoans were dying at a rate nearly 6 times greater than white residents. And at the heart of the crisis, a small safety net hospital providing care to low-income, uninsured and vulnerable populations. For years, the hospital has suffered from a lack of investment.
It's ruining our hospital. And when I say we're outgunned, outmanned, and underfunded, there's absolute truth to that statement.
Roseland Community Hospital is situated on 111th Street on Chicago's far south side. It was built almost 100 years ago. Over time, as the Great Northward Migration took place, the Chicago area became predominantly African American. Disinvestment followed, industry declined, property values crashed. For years, the area has suffered from crippling high unemployment and crime.
We live in a war zone. And it's so sad that we have to teach our children how to fall down and stay down when you hear gunshots.
Joyce Chapman is one of the community leaders.
The growth of economic development is gone. You know, on the strip from Michigan Avenue coming this way, it has been in a decline. A lot of got to do with employment opportunities for our residents here in this community.
Much of the area can be classed as a food desert, defined as an area where at least 33% of residents live at least a mile away from a grocery store or shop that sells fresh fruits, vegetables, or other foods considered healthy.
We didn't have access to fresh produce in the community. We had to go and travel outside the community. A lot of the stores closed in the community, and the stores that weren't in the community, sometimes they're selling expired produce. Which causes a problem. So the community did not have access to fresh produce.
Tim Egan is the CEO and president of Roseland Community Hospital. He says their asthma outreach program eliminated thousands of pediatric visits to the hospital's emergency room. But programs to promote healthier lifestyles cost money, which the hospital simply does not have.
Because there have been decades-long of divestment, especially when it comes to healthcare in the African American community, such as Roseland Community Hospital, you've had a major impact because there are so many comorbidities in the patients that we serve on a day-to-day basis. You know, doctors will say comorbidities, and I'm an administrator. I'm saying there's quad morbidities. We have people that are coming in with hypertension, high blood pressure, they've got asthma, they've got obesity issues.
The hospital operates on a $50 million annual budget. Under the current system, safety net hospitals administer their services and then get reimbursed by the state. But a tweak to that system means many of those reimbursements arrive late or are completely denied.
We're a Medicaid hospital. We survive by the hospital tax assessment that's been in place for decades, and over 2 decades actually. And that assessment was always set up as a Robin Hood tax. Every hospital pays into that fund, then the federal government matches that fund, and then those funds are redistributed to high Medicaid hospitals like Roseland. Then 2 years ago, that assessment was redesigned. It went from a Robin Hood tax to a Sheriff of Nottingham tax.
Against that backdrop of a food desert, a population with a high number of underlying health conditions, a 20% unemployment rate, and a hospital fighting to stay in operation, the US became the epicenter of the COVID-19 pandemic.
During most of 2020 and 2021, the work at Roseland Hospital was documented by many local, national, and international media organizations. Dan Williams focused worldwide attention on the hospital for the CGTN and ITN television networks. Dan put on protective gear and went inside the hospital, including COVID-positive areas and ICU. Dan is recognized for capturing the intensity, emotion, and heartbreak.
Well, Roseland, thank you so much for the 2021 New Roseland COVID Warrior Media Award. This actually really means quite a lot. I have been fortunate enough to pick up a few awards over the years, but this one actually means probably more than any of the others, because this was just such a huge story, of course. The pandemic, it was just such a bleak story to work on. And you allowing me access to your hospital to just to tell some of the stories that were taking place here was really just something that will live with me for the rest of my life. And I hope then that I've managed to do justice to some of those stories, because it really put some weight on my shoulders, having met many of the workers that are here, really putting their lives on the line to try and keep this community safe. So thank you so much. It really does mean so much to me, and I hope that our little bit of work here has really helped with Roseland as well going forward in terms of putting the hospital very much on the world map.
A hospital without patients is an empty building. A hospital with happy patients and family members is a community. Here's what some of the patients have to say.
I got it.
I got it.
I got it. I got it.
I got it.
I got it.
I got it.
I got it. I got it. And I want you to get yours too.
Hi, I'm Jackie Wilder, and I am here to express my feelings about the new Roseland Community Hospital. I was having problems connecting with a hospital, an agency, a doctor's office to get my vaccine. With me being the age that I am, 77, I didn't feel that I had to go through that. I heard from my girlfriend that Roseland was giving out the vaccine injections. we used to work together, and we were a good team, and I knew she wouldn't steer me wrong. So we came up, and I'm just looking all around, and I was just totally in awe. All I could see was nice treatment, politeness, and that was a go for me. Being a nurse, I know when there is good treatment around. You need to come to Roseland and see for yourself. Don't take my word for it. It would be better if you came and saw for yourself. I got my vaccine, and I would love for you to have yours too.
All of this work would not be possible without the leadership of the new Roseland Community Hospital CEO, Tim Egan. He has been at the front of the effort to secure a healthy and safe community. Tim joins us now live from downtown Chicago.
You've just seen the examples of how our amazing staff has overcome a daunting darkness that COVID has created across this country and across the world. And now, we're asking for your support for our future. Tonight's event, we established a $100,000 goal as our fundraising target. So please help support the new Roseland Community Hospital, our amazing staff, and our future. Thank you and good night. No matter how long the day, the fight to flatten the curve goes on 24/7. I have witnessed bravery and graciousness every hour of every day. Those who abandon our sides in this time of crisis are immediately forgotten. Those who answer the call and come to our aid will be our heroes, held on high when we defeat this foe.
Thank you, Tim. On behalf of the staff of the new Roseland Community Hospital, doctors, clinical staff, support staff, and contractors, thank you for your time and your support. These warriors have made a difference which will be recognized for many years to come. I'm Jim Williams of CBS 2 Chicago. We wish you a safe and healthy 2021. Thank you and good night.